Hello and welcome to another episode of Reminiscences. Today we are actually in Kano, the home of a well-known banker, administrator, Alhaji Sulaiman Baffa, who some of you may recall was managing director of two old generation banks, the UBA and the Union Bank. Later he was managing director of also the company which actually prints the Naira notes in your pocket. That is the Nigerian Nigerian Printing and Minting Company. He is, I believe, about 84 years old and retired since 1999 in Kano. So I want to welcome you to Reminiscences and take you back to the old days when you were born in Auyo, I believe in Jigawa State, present day.
I was born in Auyo, and I can't remember the day or even the month. I'm now something like 80 something years. I do not count my age. And but I follow the official one, whether it is correct or not. It is something different. I had my primary school, junior primary at that time, in Auyo. I'm in Auyo. And had my senior primary school in Hadija. And I had my secondary school in Kano Middle School, which is now called, I've forgotten the name.
Is it Rumfa now?
Rumfa College, yes.
College.
Rumfa College. And then I started working at about 18. But then an opportunity came when I was told that I was a new teacher training college for grade 2 teachers. A new college was established in Gombe. And if I was interested in going there, I jumped at it, at the opportunity, and I went there, spent 4 years, and graduated as a grade 2 teacher. And that was about the time also many northern Nigeria started having grade 2 teachers certificate, which was equivalent to the secondary school, that is 6 years training. I started teaching in Hadija, which was a new school also. Then an opportunity arose. There was an election for Hadija. The students were posted to Hadija to conduct the elections. And there was a teacher in Hadija. And to take you through this thing would be a long time. That was how I now developed myself as a gentleman at the age of 18.
So you switched from teaching to an administrative course which took you away from teaching?
Well, nobody wants to be a teacher, but there are many few schools in northern Nigeria, very few, especially from middle school to secondary school and to teacher training. In fact, the teacher training college I attended was Gombe. And we were pioneers.
Yes.
And with European teachers, the principal was an Englishman, the assistant principal was an English person also. And the local teachers like some, the whole of northern Nigeria, it's 102, okay. But I was the only one from Kano province. From Hadija. And therefore, having completed all that and started working, the election came in. Two constituencies in Hadija. A constituency for Hadija North, constituency for Hadija South. And I happened to be an assistant, what do they call it, electoral officer for Hadija North, Hadija South. And the person, the European, that is John Smith, but perhaps you knew him, who took the Hadija South, somehow loaded me with a very important position to ensure that we were doing the right thing and so forth, and we should organize ourselves. To cut the story short, is at the end of the day, in Kano province, and you know what Kano province was, don't you? Kano, Hadija North, Hadija South, became the third announcement, made the third announcement of the results.
This is to the House of Assembly election?
Not House of Assembly.
Yeah.
Yes, House of
Representatives.
Representatives.
Right. So this election was the opening for you to become an administrative officer. From there, you went to Congo, Zaria?
I went to Congo, yes. Zaria, with others selected from all over the north to have that kind of training. The training was more about, yes, management, and of course, a responsibility that you should make sure that you handle everything in a way that people will not make you a fool.
Tell us, how was life then as a young ADO? Because when you finished from Congo, you became an assistant district officer, moving around the north.
Yeah.
How was life then? I mean, what kind of work was it, and who are you interacting with at that level?
Well, as a district officer, you are never posted to your own province. You had to be posted somewhere, maybe to Sokoto, maybe to just in the north, that is, to Zaria province or somewhere else. But you never worked there because
you went to Jos.
I went to Jos.
Yes.
And
how was
Jos,
it? Was it strange, or was it something you enjoyed as a young officer?
Well, as a new officer, I was ADO in Jos.
Yes.
And when I was as an ADO, I was familiar with the territory. I had friends, and so forth. For that matter, I listened. But then something happened. The two parties, what are they called?
MPC?
NPC.
And I believe
and
NEPO?
And NEPO.
Yes. So that put you in trouble because
That
of the
put me in
politics
trouble.
of those days.
Because I took this MPM, MPM, was it?
MPC.
MPC, mental hospital on a Sunday. And I had to watch to ensure that, yes, he got the treatment that he needed.
How was the relationship of young DOs and ADOs like you to the Sardauna himself? Everybody has a Sardauna story.
Yeah.
How he behaved. What was your experience with him?
Very, very close. Especially when he came to Plateau. My name, of course, to him, Alhaji. Yeah.
Okay.
Certainly, every time, Alhaji.
Yes.
So because I was in charge of the government guest house where he stays in. And I was then, at that time, the local authority guest house. So it was my responsibility to make sure that things went.
What was he visiting just for?
Many things. I think in the north he didn't see any location that was suitable for him. It was quite cool. It was, I wouldn't call it, cool and clean, yes. It was cool and clean. And on the invitation of those companies doing one thing or the other, inviting him to come and launch it or doing something. Secondly, he wanted to really make sure that from time to time he was in Jos to rest. And the local authority of Stashu was responsible for all maintaining the house.
You moved from the Northern Regional Service to the Kano Service when the states were created, when the 12 states were created.
Yeah.
And eventually became a permanent secretary in Kano at a fairly young age. Well, how challenging was that responsibility? I believe you were about 30 then.
I was about 30, I think 29 or so. But yes, fortunately, I mean, as most young people who learn to be something at a very young age are very aggressive because they want to reach the high point. How do they manage? How do they go up? This became part of my nature. So I had to do something. I had to get to anything. And so when states were created, I wanted to go to that point. Of course, naturally, Kano province became Kano state. And I was posted to Kano. Governor Adubako liked me very much. He was very active. He did a lot of things. And the moment you come with a new thing, something new, like census, like any, Adubako would say, Baffa, Baffa. And I was an angry person, so I was hated by some other people. I survived it anyway. It didn't count the thing. But for me, I thought I had to now find a way out of the civil service.
So was that what made you leave fairly early?
Yes.
Did you resign or retire? Or?
I retired, so to speak. But at that time, yeah. How old was I? Yes, anyway.
Be 39?
No, I wasn't up to that.
Okay. Because I thought you spent 9 years in the Kano service.
Kano service. Yes. It was, maybe it was about that. So I had a nephew, Jibril Ahmed, maybe you've heard of his name.
Yes. Bank of the North, then?
Bank of the North, yes. He helped when he was there to help me get out of the civil service.
Was he in the banking sector himself by then?
No, he wasn't.
Ahmed. Okay, he was in civil service.
He was, yes. No, he wasn't a civil service.
Okay.
He was, how do I call it? A very influential person from Nasarawa State, present Nasarawa State.
Yes, businessman.
Businessman.
Yes.
And he was using that, he was a member at NDC.
NDC, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
And I complained to him.
Yes.
I was fed up, I want to leave. He became surprised. Why, you're comfortable, you are doing? I said, no. I want to get away from home because of certain things, all these situations happening. Two, that I was very young. I was 30 odd. Therefore, let me go out to the field and to see how far I would go. And
so you moved into banking?
I moved into
Starting banking. Here in the area office? What kind of job were you offered?
I was offered area manager north. But I had to go on stable for 1.5 years abroad.
This is UBA, right?
This is UBA.
United Bank of Africa.
Yeah. And when I came back, opportunities kept on coming in. Now I was area manager in Kano province. I was area manager, where else? And then, of course, I got elevated to the managing director.
Lagos?
Lagos, yes.
Yeah, and then you became the managing director.
Managing director. And I managed 4 companies in Lagos. both UBA, Union Bank, and the Mint. I managed those. Just to
Now,
move them from one.
what is the experience of being a managing director? We hear that managing directors of big banks, UBA, Union Bank, where you were, virtually everything that they need is available to them. They don't have to buy anything for themselves in the house.
Well, the bank was liberal, definitely, and did everything to retain a staff, and for courses also, to ensure that the skills that were needed in banking.
Which one did you find more challenging, UBA or Union Bank? Because you have moved from UBA straight to managing Union Bank.
UBA was really more liberal. It was more liberal. Union Bank was an old bank, and so really the challenges were, and it was occupied also by some regions. And so when I went as MD, somebody challenged me.
That's it, to Union?
In Union?
Yes.
On the first day of my meeting with staff, somebody challenged me. And one night, I did the worst I could do. I said, look, I'm here not to obey orders from you or from anybody here. I am the MD today, and I remain the MD until my tenure lasts. And therefore, whatever you do, you have to obey my orders.
So he felt that you shouldn't be there as MD here. You are
I was too young at that time.
Yes.
And he thought I was a northerner and therefore didn't know anything or couldn't handle anything.
What impact did you make, both in the banking sector at UBA, Union Bank? Are there things you did that you recall with pride now as a banker?
Well, as a banker, I don't know that professionally I did anything new. But as a kind of matter of really change of culture. Change of culture. I think I had some influence in those things in both UBA and Union Bank. Some people wanted to do things in a different way. Some others are doing this thing and so forth. And that really slowed development. And I didn't like that kind of thing. So that person which I told you on the first day, he challenged me. The following day, he's gone. Well, I said, I'm here and I'll remain here until when the person who posted me here tells me to move. But for you, okay, you have to do what I say, and I don't have to do what you say. He resigned the following day.
Yeah. How were you then? Is it after all your tenure in Union Bank? Is there, I believe, a gap in time before you went to the printing and minting company to manage it? And how was that appointment made?
I was at home. I mean, at home as if I had retired. But
back in Kano, after Union Bank?
After Union Bank.
Yes.
New management was like that. So the culture of government at that time is when new people came as government, they would make changes.
So this was Abacha's government or Shonekan?
No, Shonekan and Abacha were very good for me, to me. Very, very good to me. Shonekan and Abacha. Abacha because we knew each other for a long time. And he was reminding me every time I was your people. I was, not as a people, as a teacher.
Yes.
But he was about 3-4 years below me in school. And
okay.
But he was still, because of our age, not much different. So he gave me all the respect and the backing
Mm.
I could get.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got spare him.
Mm.
And
So how is it running the company that prints our money, the notes we have? I mean, you hear all sorts of stories about money being printed and some of it destroyed, and if there are maybe misprint. It must be a very tempting job to be.
tempt him how?
Well, all the money is at your disposal, isn't it?
No.
You direct how it goes.
No. That is wrong. How do I put it? Wrong thinking.
Mm.
You are talking about the mint.
Yes.
Okay. Let me give you an example. Not just a story, a full story. When I was made the MD Mint, Abacha was the head of state. And I came, I cannot remember who I succeeded. I can't remember who was it. But when I first reported, Abacha himself, they were holding a kind of meeting. What do I classify the meeting? Executive meeting? Executive.
From military council, maybe.
Yeah, military council. Supreme Military Council. And I was invited to come because I was too liberal in printing too much money. And therefore all the inflation was now caused by me. Abacha was then the head of state. What was his title at that time? Head of state?
Yes, he was
head of state.
Yes, head of state.
So I was invited to come and defend myself. When I came in, the first challenge is Abacha felt it was really too hot or whatever to remain in the meeting. And frankly speaking, it was because of me. He just felt and told Dia to go to continue.
So he just cut the meeting short.
He didn't.
Okay.
He just went out. So he didn't give any instructions as to what to do. So normally Dia would be the acting chairman.
Yes.
And he went out, I think they had some kind of stock.
Dear.
Dia.
General Dear.
Yeah. So he came back to now be the chairman of the meeting.
General Dear.
General Dia.
Right.
Immediately said, not to, longer than he sat down. He said, and they meant you are the cause of all this problem. In a council meeting. So, how Allah saved me with that, I still cannot imagine. But my first reaction after he says that, I said, ladies and gentlemen, there were about 2 liters. Can I please tell me, allow me to get a glance of what you have in your pockets? Okay. Everybody went into his pocket and brought some naira.
So you are allowed to go, because you spent 6 years as MD of
No, before then, when I did that,
yes.
and eventually the commission minister called me to say, no more printing.
This is the Minister of Finance.
Minister of Finance.
Yes.
No more printing. I said, okay. I went to Abacha. Fortunately for me, I was a favorite. I told him I'm resigning. He said, why? I said, well, you employed me to print currency. Now we cannot produce. In that case, therefore, I don't think I should go illegally to start taking salary without making any product. But I can advise you to say within 1 week of this, maybe you are going to be helter-skelter trying to get new notes. And it happened.
You believe it's important to continue printing the new notes?
Yes. So Christmas came about 3 or 4 days after, and everybody wanted new notes. So there was chaos.
So you don't think printing new notes will sort of fuel inflation? Or are you withdrawing the old notes when you print?
All the notes are coming to CBN. CBN will determine how many notes are coming back. And the Nigerian note doesn't last 1 year. No, it doesn't. And you don't need replacement. So when you are minting, you are not adding to the thing. The inflation is happening in the market, not in the hard currency.
Yeah. But why is the Supreme Military Council worried about you printing new notes?
That's what they thought. They thought by printing this thing.
Just like me.
I see, okay. But now you're getting clear.
Yes. Are you surprised by stories that Abacha was moving money? You know, because it turned out after he left, of course, that money has been taken, I don't know whether from the CBN or wherever, and really put in private hands. Are you surprised, having served under him with those kind of stories?
Well, for recoveries, I wouldn't know, because being an employer of the central bank, so I cannot go into central bank to find information as to what was happening between the government and the individual in power, if I may call it. Whether whatever they are doing, whether really this is being recorded or not recorded. But in any case, the mint was to report into the CBN. 1 kobo produced by the mint doesn't go anywhere, because with our own officers also, we have to go to the, what they call it, strong room, to ensure that we have handed over this currency to the staff of the CBN, the authorized staff, that is. Once it gets out of our hand, okay.
So you don't believe Abacha, I mean, you wouldn't know. That's the point. You wouldn't know how Abacha related to the central bank, because you're taking the money just to the central bank.
It wasn't a central bank. They come to take it.
Yes.
I'm not taking it.
Yeah.
We do not release to anybody a kobo if it is not an order from the central bank. And that order must be also confirmed by me. It has to come to me to sign that is in order.
You've been retired since 1999. You left a government job, high-profile jobs.
Yeah.
And you've been back here in Kano. Were you a rich man when you retired, such that you can really do whatever you want, you know?
Did I have money elsewhere? Is that what you are saying?
No.
Being rich means, yes. To be rich is that you have money.
Yes.
So you have to keep it somewhere.
No, what I mean is, after all these years of serving in the financial sector, did you live comfortable, very comfortable?
Oh, yes, I was comfortable. Not only in the mint, but in all the banks I managed. UBA, Union Bank, and the mint.
Yeah. And then you now retire to indulge in your passion, which
It is
I
fun,
understand
it's agriculture.
Yeah, agriculture, especially growing date trees.
Date trees and zogale.
Yes, okay. Can you tell us how that has worked out?
It was virtually kind of a natural reaction for me. I was born in Aoyo, and virtually in Aoyo, every house had a date palm. And I grew to love that. And also the resilience of date palm, the tree itself. It can last for so many years and still production. And this is what I took from this.
So as a banker, I imagine you have brought a business approach to date farming. Can you tell us that experience? Have you made big success out of it?
Not a big success, but I made a success of it. That success was not on me or for me alone. Before, virtually everybody was feeling, if the date farm, what do you call the seed?
Cheese?
Seed of date palm.
Okay, the seedlings, yes. Yes.
Seedling is already when you plant it.
Yes.
And it comes out.
Yes.
But the seed itself.
Yes.
Of this palm.
Yes.
You find when I was very young, before I even was taken to elementary school.
Right.
I was envying everybody who has a date palm in that grandparents' house. And I said I had to have one. That was my life ambition.
Yeah.
And I have one now.
Yeah. So how is it going?
It's going on quite okay. It's going on quite okay. But when I started it, of course, it is the management that is the problem. But for water, I have plenty of water and it's going on properly.
Is management really the challenge of farming in Nigeria?
It
You
is.
can have the money, you set it up, you have the passion, but somehow it doesn't work
Yeah.
because there's no managers.
But management is the biggest problem for Nigerian agriculture. Yes. And what caused it? Of course, everybody takes it as a, how do you call it? Something, it's not a professional or something that you can make it a business. You go and do what you think maybe government will give you a cheaper price, the fertilizer you need or something else or even all that.
How much data are you producing? You have the best opportunity, the passion, the resources to do it.
Yes.
How much data do you produce now?
You mean how dates?
Yes.
You mean the tree or the
No, the
fruit?
fruit.
The fruit.
What quantity? I mean, Ramadan will soon be here. Are you saying, look, when Ramadan comes, I have so many tonnage that I put into the market?
Yeah.
Is it the kind of thing you're doing?
No. The fact is that in Nigeria, there's no profession. Everybody is just doing it just in case. And trying to...
So hobby farming, no commercial farming?
No professional farming, if I may call it. There is nothing like that in Nigeria. And they do not even say, all right, if I do 1 hectare, this is what I'm likely to get. And only when I do these things to the farm, how do I get it done and to get to the point I want to go? When I say I've produced for zogale, I'm doing zogale only, so to speak. All the others are just for, not for business, but for the fancy of it.
Including the date. The date has now also become more like a hobby.
Yeah, just look more of it, and I'm not planting more dates. But for zogale, I know now how much I can, per hectare, how much I can produce per annum. What I'm producing of zogale per hectare is 10 tons.
So that is commercial.
That's the commercial.
At least you're broken into
Into
that
yes.
one, yes.
Yes. So that I find, okay, that will be my profession now. Do it, but I have to do it. I have to do it also professionally, so to speak.
Do you find all these government interventions? You are both a banker, a former palm sec of agriculture here, and you hear all these new government interventions through the CBN, through the government giving farmers money to grow all sorts of things, rice. Do you think it's the right way to go?
It's political.
What do you mean political?
In the sense, everyone a member of someone who can do that, to give the money out and so forth, is a farmer. And that's the only way of getting the money out. Of course, I don't get it, and I don't want to even get it. If it doesn't work the way I feel it should work.
So you don't think that way will lead us to the kind of farming revolution that the government talks about?
No, it won't. It won't. It is just for pleasing those who, they're not farmers, but actually, since they say they are going to do farming, okay, let's go on. Give them the support that they can do that. And for me, as a farmer, no government person has ever visited my farm, and I will not invite anybody to my farm. If they feel I'm useful, they can come to me.
Is it up to 10?
More than 10.
More than 10.
Per hectare. Ganye. Yes. And it's cheap. The production is very, very cheap. If you do it the way it should be done. But most of us will just cut the tree.
Yeah.
Or need it to go to the sky.
Go wide.
Yeah.
What is your reaction when you hear things like the recent rice pyramids in Abuja as a government, somebody experienced in this field? Are you happy we are back to the pyramid days of stacking groundnuts or rice?
Yeah. Of course, it is helping to reduce the import of rice. Helping to reduce. Helping in the sense that our production is high enough to replace the importation. I certainly support it, but I don't think we are doing that.
Yeah, but the pyramids are there to say so.
Where are they? Where are they?
In Abuja.
Oh, in Abuja. Oh, I haven't seen them. Maybe because I have not visited Abuja. But if it is, why it's not in countrywide? Why Abuja?
So you think the rice effort is still not, we are not there yet? We haven't solved.
From what you have told me, of course, I think we have a long way to go. How many, we still import a lot. But it's an issue that how do we make it commercial so that in fact we can produce. I visited countries for the purpose of farming. I visited, what do they call them, this Singapore, Malaysia, and other countries around there. I visited them all for the purpose of learning how do they do it. That is for agricultural farming. And they do it so well. And let me give you a small example, very small, just for you to have a taste of what is happening there. I was in Malaysia many years ago, of course. This is many years ago. And I was there for a meeting, Permanent Secretary's Minister of Agriculture in Northern in Africa. So we are taking this. I was palm sick here. I went to Malaysia. 15th of May. I keep that in mind. On the 15th of May. 15th of May, the whole place was covered by what I considered when I was still in my hotel room as haze. I was in my hotel room and I saw it. 15th May, the whole country
was covered in this maze, haze.
Yes, it wasn't. And I said, but how come this? Kowa yana da rijiya a gida a gonarsa. In damana ba ta faɗi ba, to su za su yi tasu.
How much time do you have for farming now? Are you actively involved or just something you?
I go to farm, but I go to farm. I give instructions from here to discuss the report they are giving me. If it is obvious that I should be there, I'll be there.
The farm is a bit far away from where you live here in Kano.
Yes.
Yes.
It is in Karinghosa. But this is why I'm not doing seasonal. I'm not seasonal because I don't think we are serious about seasonal crops. Secondly, we don't pay any attention on that. Whilst it is really the main thing for Nigeria, agriculture.
What else do you do on a typical day? I mean, you're tired. How do you spend your day?
How do I spend my day? My days are not counted. That's the first. But I try to do, if there is no appointment or anything I think I should do, like farming, like going to the farm or something. That's what I do. Otherwise, I do not have any thinking about any other business. I invest, but I'm not managing. Yeah, and that is also.
Do you have any other hobbies? Any other things you do for interest?
For the day? What do I do for the day? Honestly, there is nothing other than reading. I read a lot.
What kind of reading?
Both. The Quran, I think I read the Quran at least for the whole book. How many times a week? Wow. Maybe twice. Because if there's anything left in 1 week, I have not got it, then of course I pass it on to the next week. But most likely, unless I have other issues to solve, in 1 week I read about the whole book.
How is family life for you?
It's peaceful to me, peaceful to my family. And
only one wife, 50-something years?
Yes. One wife. How many children? 5. With that one wife. And virtually all of them now are on their own. The children, that is. Some are abroad.
And grandchildren, maybe?
And grandchildren, yes. I have some. So that is what my distance. I spend most of the time here.
Do you travel? Do you enjoy traveling anymore?
Yes,
abroad?
I do. But I do not go for the whole year. This year, I didn't go abroad.
Oh, there's COVID now.
Yeah.
But
okay.
Under normal situation, where do you tend to go?
Oh yes, especially now, to go to Saudi. Yeah.
Do you have any favorite destination that you enjoy going beside? Saudi is a common one. Is there any other place which you love to go if you have a chance?
If I have a chance?
Yes.
Or when I had chances?
When you had chances, lots of them. Have you developed a favorite place which you say, well, look, this
No. I have not for the purpose of just being there. No. But if I have any reason to be there, I will be there. But that, so far, is very low. Very, very low. I have a relationship with some companies, and from time to time they invite us to go to their countries. Whether that's in Africa or in and of course, for me, I feel yes, I should restrict myself now to home. I don't want to really punish myself through traveling and so forth. I should.
Finally, let me ask you your thoughts about Nigeria. You have seen the colonial, the independence, all sorts of periods of Nigeria. Are you worried about what's happening to us now? And do you have an explanation for it?
Well, maybe one sentence. Everybody to himself. That's what seems to be happening now. And I cannot explain why and how. But the kind of relationship we have had with other people rather than even siblings and so forth, it's not working. It's not working.
But people will say leaders like you, who had all the chance in the world, PAMSEC, MD of banks, if you couldn't do it then, why do you expect it to be done now?
Well, when I was in bank, I was a farmer, and up to now I'm a farmer, and I continue to be farmer.
Do you think we can fix it? Do you have hope that maybe
we should be able to fix it? But I don't see it coming. I don't see it coming. So who is to do the first move? Do that. How to really go back to those days that government itself being human. But it's now government that, okay, I don't want to say anything more than that. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Alhaji Sulaiman Baffa.
You're welcome.
You're
welcome.
Insightful analysis and information on the situation. Viewers, we were speaking to Alhaji Sulaiman Baffa, who was a permanent secretary and then became a banker as Union Bank, UBA, and the managing director of Nigerian Printing and Minting Company, and now retired, but still active on his farm in Kafin Hausa in Jigawa State. Thank you for joining us, and I hope we meet on another edition of Reminiscences. Goodbye.